Again, I stand by my recommendation that this project, even though it's complex and large, it meets all the performance standards, and therefore I recommend an order of conditions be issued.
All right, thank you, Steve. Any more comments from the commissioners?
Nope.
All right.
Pat is asking that her letter be read into the record.
Jasmine, you want to go ahead and read that, please?
You guys see me okay?
Yep.
Dear Conservation Commission, in regards to Fruit Street proposal, this proposal is for a 103,000 square foot building and parking is an unacceptable plan for an area of critical environmental concern because it infringes upon our 100-foot wetland setback bylaw. This bylaw has been established to protect sensitive environmental areas. There is absolutely no reason to allow this proponent to infringe upon the 100-foot wetland setback. Developers naturally want what is best result for their bottom line. They typically tell their engineer, ask for everything, we'll see what we get. There is no hardship here. A loading dock and a dumpster pad that infringes upon the setback is absolutely no valid reason to allow a proponent to go into the wetland setback. These regulations have been put in place to protect our wetlands and its wildlife. I suggest a reduction in the size of the building and leave the setback intact. Thank you, Pat Neary.
Thank you for reading that into the record, Jasmine. All right, at this time, I will ask if there's anybody else that's raising their hand, Jasmine, from the public on this.
Did anyone else have trouble, Jasmine, hearing Jasmine read that?
I heard it fine.
Yeah, I heard it fine as well.
Okay.
There are people saying they could not hear Jasmine clearly, but if that's a technological error, I'm sorry, we cannot address everyone's technology issues on this forum.
So just turning up their volume, but I'm hearing fine.
I don't see any hands being raised or.
I mean, I'm looking at the
Okay.
chat box, and the main complaint is the volume, or that they could barely hear you. Now, I think the commission understands that, as I've explained, that the scope and the complexity of this project is large. At the same time, the 100-foot bylaw, or the 100-foot setback, both under the bylaw and the state regs, is to oversee the work that is proposed in that area. It does not definitively say you cannot build in those areas. These regulations are in place so that oversight is allowed. So we have to keep that in mind when proposing this project. This is private property after all. And we only have jurisdiction over so many things. And, in a state, it's a tough one, but at the same time, the performance standards are met.
All right, thank you, Steve. I think we have everything in on this. At this time, the chair would entertain a motion, please.
All right. So a motion to approve,
No, we just need to close.
all right, sorry.
Yeah, we have 21 days to make our
Motion to
decision on
close the
this.
hearing on Fruit Street, NOI.
Harry?
Second.
All right, here in a second, any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please. Marilyn McDonald, aye. Harry Bailey?
Aye.
Eileen Prisco?
Aye.
All right, this filing is now closed. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next is the notice of intent, 13 Vernon Street, map 124, lot 2, 6/12/81, Silver Engineering. So Rebecca, I understand that our third party has not had a chance to officially weigh in yet. Are we continuing at this point, or?
My understanding is I don't have the comments, so they haven't had a chance to finish. So I have no new information to add.
Okay, all right. With no new information, then we'll just need to continue. You want to send that in to Jasmine in the morning? Okay.
Yes.
As far as the commission, just to give you guys all an update, I hope to see a final version of the report that you guys requested, the independent review, by the end of next week. Hopefully giving you guys about 7 days to review in time for the meeting on the 22nd.
And is that independent reviewer, Steve, going to be able to go on site with us?
No.
No, they're not.
They will be able to come on the hearing and answer any questions about the report.
Okay.
So having said that, does the commission wish to schedule a site walk without the third party review?
Once we get the information or we can do
Understood.
that too. Yeah, we'll take
That's
a
a
look
good
at the
idea.
information.
That's a good
and then-
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and-
I
and
like
then
that.
we'll
Okay.
do that. So then at this point, the chair would entertain a motion, please.
A continuance?
Yep.
Okay, what's the date of the next?
Next meeting is October 22nd, Eileen.
Okay, thank you. I was up there, but it's gone. Make a motion to continue 1300 Vernon Street to the next meeting, October 22nd, did you say?
Second.
6:30 PM.
All right. Here in a second, any further discussion? Like I just said, once we get in the third-party review, we can then make our decision on going out there, and once we've reviewed the material. So roll call vote on that, please. Marilyn McDonald, aye. Harry Bailey,
Aye.
Eileen Prisco.
Aye.
All right, thank you. You are continued to October 22nd.
Thank you.
All right, so moving right along. Jasmine, I believe that 165 Hayward was approved. That should be under conservation business, is that correct?
Yes, I apologize.
That's
That
no
should
worries,
be.
no worries. So sometimes I can't read my writing. So I'll go right into then request for determination of applicability, 40 Dundee Road, map 98, lot 25, Collin Civil Engineering, please.
Are you ready for the ad?
Good
I am,
evening.
you're
Can you hear me?
We
Yep.
need to open you up first. Jasmine will read the ad in.
Give me just a second. All right. In accordance with Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, in the Town of Bridgewater Local Bylaw, the Bridgewater Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing held as a virtual meeting over Zoom. A link and instructions to participate in the meeting will follow and be posted to the calendar on the town's website at www.bridgewaterma.org. A recording of the meeting will also be posted to the town's webpage within 48 hours after the meeting ends. The hearing will be on a request for determination of applicability filed by Janet, Foykins. The applicant proposes to upgrade a residential septic system and requests a determination from the commission whether the work depicted on the plan is subject to jurisdiction under the Wetlands Protection Act and the Town of Bridgewater Wetland Bylaw. The property is owned by Janet Foykins and located at 40 Dundee Drive, Bridgewater, MA, as shown as Assessor's Map 98, Parcel 25. Please contact the Bridgewater Conservation Department for the hearing date and time.
All right, thank you. Jasmine, I'm still seeing little stuff that they can't hear you, so next time I'll just have you turn your volume up, but I'm hearing you okay. So thank you, Jasmine. You got all the cards on this filing?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Collin Civil Engineering, you're up, please.
Good evening. Can you guys hear me?
Loud and clear.
Done.
Awesome. For the record, Peter Lyons with Collins Civil Engineering Group. I'm representing the homeowners tonight for an emergency septic repair at 40 Dundee Drive. Quick overview, the project is to repair a failed Title V, so a failed septic system. We have a wetland paralleling the rear lot line. The 50-foot and 100-foot buffers are shown. The 100-foot buffer cuts across in front of the house. We're doing everything we can to keep the system components outside of or as far from the resource area as possible, essentially tucking it into the front corner of the lot. We are able to maintain 108 feet between the wetland flag 1 and the closest corner of the leaching area. The tank, based on the existing plumbing in the house, is going to be located 86 feet from the wetland. Minimal disturbance here. There's really no elevation changes. We're losing one tree in the front of the property and a little bit of trimming around the proposed septic tank. Other than that, it's all existing lawn, going to be loam and seeded. Hopefully with whatever's left of this growing season, get that started. Pretty straightforward septic project though. We're proposing silt sacks in the catch basins out in the street. Yeah, if we zoom up a little bit on the plan, you can see some notes for the silt sacks going in the catch basins. 27 feet off the field is our closest existing catch basin. The dash lines in the front yard are the existing septic components to be decommissioned. basically meaning pump and fill them, and fill them with the clean sand and leave them where they are. Those areas also to be loam and seeded. Erosion control is proposed and in place around the entirety of the project, ending at the house. That's basically the rundown on it. If the commission has any concerns, I'd be happy to address them.
Okay, thank you. And this was
Yep.
a failed system from my understanding, correct?
Correct, yep.
All right. Steve, I'll start with you. You can weigh in on this.
Yeah, so I went out and looked at the site, and have also, this is another instance where a resident happens to have a situation where their septic has failed. They happen to be within the jurisdiction of the Conservation Commission, and in order to expedite the process to allow them to use their facilities in their home, I worked with the Board of Health to ensure that all permits would eventually be attained, and that is the case with this. So the project, I believe, is underway or complete, and they're just waiting upon the permit. So I recommend and suggest a negative determination. And I had asked Jasmine, that's something else we'll have to talk about moving forward, but actually numbering, when you guys vote, numbering the negative determination and the reason, but that's another point. So negative determination.
All right, thank you, Steve. I have no problems with that. If health and safety comes first. Eileen or Harry, anything to weigh in on this?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Anybody with a question on 40 Dundee Road that's on?
I haven't seen anybody put anything in the chat or raise their hand.
Okay. All right, then seeing none, the chair would entertain a motion, please.
I will make a motion for a negative determination for 40 Dundee Drive.
Second.
All right, here in a second, any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Marilyn McDonald, aye. Harry Bailey?
Aye.
Eileen Prisco?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Negative determination, that one's done.
Right, awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good evening now.
You as well. Take care.
Okay, next on the new business is request for determination of applicability on 20 Running River Road, map 24, lot 26. Harry Bertheret? If I said your name wrong, I'm sorry.
Okay. In accordance with Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, in the Town of Bridgewater Local Bylaw, the Bridgewater Conservation Commission will hold a hearing held as a virtual meeting over Zoom. A link and instructions to participate in the meeting will follow and be posted on the town's calendar. On the calendar on the town's website at www.bridgewaterma.org. A recording of the meeting will also be posted to the town's webpage within 48 hours after the meeting ends. The hearing will be on a request for determination of applicability filed by Harry Bussiera. The applicant proposes to fix backyard and requests a determination from the commission whether the work depicted on the plan is subject to jurisdiction under the Wetlands Protection Act and the Town of Bridgewater Wetland Bylaw. The property is owned by Harry Bussiera and located at 20 Running River Road, Bridgewater, MA, as shown on Assessor's Map 24, Parcel 26. Please contact the Bridgewater Conservation Department for the hearing date and time.
Thank you. You are now open.
I cannot see Harry. Okay, well, this one's going to have to be continued, so we'll have to reach out to Harry and confirm his request for continuance. But just to give you guys a little bit of background, we'll have to check this one out. This is a request for determination in the old sense of the request for determination of applicability. It really is determining whether this project falls under, the jurisdiction of the Wetlands Protection Act, or if it does need a notice of intent filing to proceed. So I'm going to try to work with the resident to push the project as far away from the river as possible in this case. There's two buffer zones here. There's a 100-foot and then the 200-foot riverfront area concerned. As far as the work that is being done, it is for the fact that he has an old retaining wall that is collapsing in the backyard, and it's causing his backyard to also now slope and slide down. It's not a steep slope, but it's probably, I would say, undulates between 8 to 1 and probably 2 to 1 in some really, unique spots. But it's pretty far away from the river. I just need to clarify with him on the plans. What was submitted is not adequate, so I'm going to have to work with him on that and get them to a point where we can make a determination on this.
Okay. All right, so we'll do, Chair would entertain then a motion for a continuance, seeing as we don't have a.
Motion for a continuance for 20 Running River Road to the next meeting, October 22nd, 6:30 p.m.
All right, I heard Harry's second. Harry in the second. Any further discussion?
Nope.
Hearing none, I think
Nope.
Steve summed it up. Marilyn McDonald, aye. Harry Bailey,
Aye.
Eileen Frisco.
Aye.
All right, that'll be continued to next meeting. Thank you. That will wrap it up for new business. Now we'll go right into conservation business, which will take that Jasmine 165 Haywood Place, map 38, lot 12. Do we have that order of conditions?
Pull that up. Give me just a minute. Sorry.
Yeah, well, while you're pulling that up, I can go into the next request for certificate of compliance on Elm Street, the access road, so I can have Steve just explain that he's checked that out, and we can do that one first then, while she's pulling the other one.
Yeah, I'm just reading the chat. Some people are having trouble getting into the hearing. All right, anyways, I'll have to address that. So this is a certificate of compliance for the FW Web warehouse building that's out on Elm Street. I'm sure you guys are all familiar with it. There was an access road that crossed over a wetland area to access the site. I've been by there twice, both before the rain and then after the rain last week. Just because I happen to be in the area, no specific reason. But site looks good. It's coming along, vegetated, very, very much so stabilized. The site's coming along nice. You know, I have no complaints. I mean, they're in compliance. They've been very open with pretty much every step of the way, providing, oversight, good oversight, and then providing information whenever we need it. So on this one, I recommend that the certificate of compliance be issued.
Okay, thank you. All right, Chair would entertain a motion, please.
What property address were you referring to, Steve?
The Elm Street.
Oh, the Elm Street.
500, it's actually 500 Elm Street.
Okay, thank you, because I don't have my agenda in front of me. So a motion to close?
No, this is a certificate.
For the certificate of compliance for 500 Elm Street, Bridgewater, Mass.
Second.
All right, here in a second, no further discussion. Sorry, roll call vote, please. Marilyn McDonald, aye. Harry Bailey,
Aye.
Eileen Prisco.
Aye.
Okay, that order is done. Jasmine, how you doing on the Haywood Place?
Right now, I'm only seeing my general conditions.
Which is all it was. It was a septic. It was a septic repair. The work's already been done because it was a failed system. So it's a procedural issue at this point.
Yeah, I don't have any notes of specials on mine, so I think it was straightforward. All right, so we're good. We can, Steve, you just basically said it was standard. So we can take a roll call vote on that. Chair would first entertain a motion, please, for the order of conditions.
Motion to approve the order of conditions for 165 Haywood Place.
Second.
That's it.
Here in a second, any further discussion?
Nope.
Hearing none, roll call vote, please. Marilyn McDonald, aye. Harry Bailey,
Aye.
Eileen Prisco.
Aye.
Okay. Order of conditions issued on Haywood Place. And then under conservation business, we have last discussion for restoration of South Street. I'll let Steve get into that. Steve, please.
Yeah, so I did see Miss Doherty on the call. Just admitting someone from the waiting room. So the purpose of this agenda item is just to game plan moving forward with the certificate of compliance and the general project on South Street. The order of conditions is very complex, it turns out, the way it was written. And what we have here is, as you guys know, we have this already existing dwelling that was built to the north of the replication area. If north, is that true north? Yeah. So the true north on the upper side of the replication area. Then you see pictures on this plan of the replication area itself. And then down south of that is the next lot, which is also a buildable lot, which is part of the proposal for these 3 lots, along with a drainage easement. We're all familiar with the ins and outs of this order at this point. Rebecca brought a good point to my attention earlier today. Actually, I think it was late yesterday, and said that if we close out the certificate of compliance for this replication area, thus closing out the entire order, it would thus not allow any work to proceed on the buildable lot that remains. So what I suggest moving forward with is a partial certificate of compliance. A partial certificate of compliance to be issued for the replication area. After, in the next 2 weeks, I want to get out with each of the commissioners, go take a look in person, check the vegetation. As it says in the order of conditions, the vegetation needs to be grown into at least 75%. I'm in full belief that that has occurred at this point. There's some vegetation as far as plant material goes that seem to be struggling a little bit. I'm sure it's something that maybe it could be included as an ongoing, maybe we replace these after the construction down on lot 3, or we tie it into those trees have to be living at the time of the issuance of the certificate of compliance for lot 3. Basically what I'm getting at is we can't close out the entire order because it would thus make them file a new notice of intent for the home or amend an order. But what we can do is partial certificate of compliance, closing out the replication area, thus still allowing us to keep the order open, allowing them to proceed with the building of the home, then come back with a certificate of compliance request at the end of that to close out the entire issue.
Okay.
I know
That
that's a
makes-
lot. That's a lot to digest, but we have 2 weeks to kind of go
No,
over
I hear what you said. It makes sense. Yeah, I haven't seen that in a while. So the last time I think I was out there with you was at least 8 months plus or so. You know, it did look like it needed a little bit more restoration, but then again, it's been a dry season. It's been a tough season. So definitely need to get another set of eyes on it. I don't go that way often. So again, thank you. I'll make arrangements to go out and take a look at that restoration area.
Would the commission give me a moment to update a little further?
Sure, go ahead, Rebecca.
The plan in front of you isn't actually the latest and greatest. Since this plan was submitted, we have in fact installed the green pipes that were missing. We staked them out and we installed them. And then per the order, we had it signed by a land surveyor and professional engineer.
Okay.
So those 2 things were completed in the time that this plan was given to you and now. I believe I emailed it this morning, but you know.
Okay.
All right,
Well,
thank you.
that's great. Because that meets some of the last additional items on the order just to ensure compliance.
Yes, and one more thing, I did speak with Lot 3 and the development of that, and they would be seeking to do a building permit and proceed with work in the next month or so. So we would go ahead again with an erosion control letter and
Okay.
tell you that all of that was, but that would be within the next month. They have to work out their building plans.
Yeah, that we got to work out. That gives us, I think, just about an ample amount of time to sort this out.
Just to give you a time frame.
Yeah, I think that's an appropriate time frame too. You know, because I think the wetland, you know, when we took a look at it earlier this year, it was very barren. It was not ready to be certified, and that was for a litany of reasons.
Yeah, I took pictures, but it's a bad year for conservation cell phones. That cell phone went missing too, so I don't have those pictures
Oh,
anymore.
no.
But I remember what it looked like.
Wait, there's usually 3. Who's the third? There's always 3. Watch it.
Again.
Just to allow Miss Doherty to potentially comment here. I know she's on the call. She is the property owner south of lot 3 here. So I'm going to unmute her mic and see if she would like to say anything. I have been in contact with her with any major ongoing, you know, changes in this issue, as I've said from the get-go with Miss Doherty, to keep her in the loop on this. So, Ms. Doherty, do you have anything to add, or that you would like to see done, or?
Well, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure because that, the home on lot 1 didn't follow the order of conditions. So I just wanted to make sure that if for anything that is built on lot 3, that it's in compliance with the order of conditions. And that would also include the swale easement that would be next to me.
The easement is recorded and been provided to the commission. I believe it was also sent to your attorney.
Yes.
So-
Oh, no, I just mean when it,
Oh, the swale itself, physically, yes, yes. It's one of the last things that will be constructed,
yeah, that's what
just so you know.
yeah. Honestly, I just want to make sure that everything is followed and done and
Yeah.
and honestly, I just don't want water. That's what it amounts to.
No, I agree 100%. And I think a lot of things were missed on the last one. And I think that's why this time around, you're going to see a different approach. And
I
think
believe
you've
COVID
probably
had a
seen-
lot to do with that too. We kind of
Yeah,
broke.
I think you've seen a difference in approach this time, as far as keeping you in the loop and Mr. O'Shaughnessy in the loop, as far as our items with this.
All right, I appreciate that, and I appreciate you unmuting me.
No problem.
Thank you.
Okay. Back to you, Marilyn.
She's muted. She must have. Marilyn.
When you gotta go, you
You
gotta
have
go.
words that everybody wants to hear.
Who muted me?
He's looking for our phone.
So what I said was, I guess that ends everything under conservation business unless there's anybody that has anything further for conservation business. Harry, Eileen, anything under conservation business, or are we good?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay, I'm good. So I guess that leaves for one last motion.
Oh, well, I'm abstaining from that one.
The motion to adjourn?
No, oh, that one. No. Oh, I'll make the motion to adjourn. Oh my God. Yes, no. No, that was a
You're
good one.
gonna stay on all night, no?
Okay.
I'm tired. I need a good night's sleep.
In that case, we would have pulled the 2 out of 3.
Sorry.
All right, did I hear
All right,
Harry
second.
second? All right, roll
Second.
call vote. Marilyn McDonald, aye. Harry Bailey.
Aye.
Eileen Prisco.
Hi.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the remainder of your evening.
Also,
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.